Good afternoon. Going to Puerto Rico, I thought we were prepared. I thought we played really well, especially in the Arkansas game. We're able to, kind of fight some of the adversity with their height and their athleticism and stuff. But we thought we played a really, really good game. Even on the reboundings, we're pretty even, and that was some of our concerns. Defensively, I thought we guarded really well, and offensively, we created some matchups with our guard play and stuff. Our guards are averaging all at about 14 points a game, so that kind of helps us to kind of get going. And we had Bree Cooper missing, so we had still a couple of people that are trying to work in the lineup, but I thought we played pretty good. And Sacred Heart gave us a little bit more problem. They were able to defensively slow us down a little bit, and we finally got going, and we had to start pressing to kind of get going, and it's kind of our forte is some of the things we do on defensive side, create a lot of offense, so we were able to do that. And I kind of like that. We can play in many different ways this year because of our lineup, but both games were good. We were able to do some things in Puerto Rico for our kids. They're students first, and I think they were able to get a taste of the culture and the people there. It's a slow pace, so it was kind of fun to see a different culture there. We got able to see the rainforest and just the different types of foods and all that. So it was awesome for our kids to have that opportunity to do that, and that's why we're here at this university, is to broaden their horizon. So it was great. Any questions?
Coach, was there anyone that kind of stepped up in Puerto Rico that's played better than they did in the first few games that made some progress?
Not really. I think we all played pretty consistent. I think our guard play was pretty consistent from Kiki Veal and Kia Willridge. Jay Lynn's, her scoring's off a little bit, and running the point and stuff. But I think some of the teams are taking that away from her a little bit, and she's getting a little frustrated. But Simone Fields played fairly well. She's still improving on her game. Not able to play those first couple of games, I think, hurt her. And I thought Jordan Alexander did a good job on the defensive side for us. Jody Quinn, I thought, maybe in both games, Jody Quinn stepped up on the defensive side pretty big. She was able to relieve Kia, which always guards, probably their best player. And in both games, she stepped up pretty big, made some pretty big steals when we needed them and stuff. So I thought she did. And just everybody, it was a collective effort, I think, from what we've been trying to do. Our defense is based on team, and I think that was what we did. I was pleased with the way everybody played. It's kind of what we want. Is to become a better team, and we can continue to get the hybrids more involved in the offense. I think it'll be good.
I saw Brooke earlier. She didn't look ready, really physically. Did she make progress physically and getting back into it?
Yeah, I think so. I think, Kevin, that's a great point. I think she did play better. I think she looked like, especially on the defensive side, offensive side, sometimes she's undersized in there. It's a little bit tougher right now coming back from this injury. But on the defensive side, she took 3 charges against Arkansas that were huge, and I think it stopped their momentum and stuff. But she did play well, and she rebounded well. So she's moving a little bit better. You can see her getting a little bit more comfortable and with her game and stuff. And, it's practice-wise, she looks good, and so hopefully she can continue to improve and get a little bit more confident in her game.
Coach, I know Brianna, as you said, was off those games, but she gave some big minutes, especially early on in the season. Of course, at Ole Miss, she had some blocks, just rebounds. But just talk a little bit about the development of Jordan Alexander. I know, as you just said, Simone's starting to get back into it, and kind of those two giving you that low post presence.
Yeah, and the thing about Jordan is when we went to this last tournament, we played her at the 3. We moved her into the guard position a little bit. With Kiki coming off the bench, we kind of felt that we would try a different lineup. And Jordan's playing the 3 right now, but can play really anywhere. And she feels comfortable there. But when we would, depending on what the lineup was, she'd go to the 4, and she's starting to kind of get a feel for it. The thing that's impressive is a lot of things she's doing we haven't taught. She's coming in with that, like very fundamental, great footwork, can pass, can shoot the ball. So we're excited about that. The defense is she comes from a great program, so she's got an idea of how we want to defend. We were pretty much on her in the Arkansas game to start. We missed a couple of charges because she was in that position. But, you know, she's very coachable, you know, and I think that's the exciting thing about these freshmen, you know. We got some kids that want to learn and get better, and our older group is kind of helping them. But, you know, Jordan and you know, Simone's got to get going. You know, Simone hadn't been her normal self. I mean, you look at it, she's shooting 42% from the field. Last year she was shooting 75% from the field. Now is she being guarded a little bit more? Yeah, I would say yeah, but you know, she's got to get going. You know, I mean, we need her to get inside and be a presence so we can continue to with our guard play, and you know, it helps our offense. You know, I think we're scoring right around 68, 70 points a game, so it's up from last year and the years past. So you know we can score. We can score in different ways, but we need Simone to get going.
What are some of the benefits of having Kiki kind of to the bench? Does it make it bigger up front to create some matchups that you want, or what's kind of behind that?
I think it keeps Kiki in the game longer. You know, I always felt in the women's game, this first 3 or 4 minutes of battle, defense is always stronger to me. You know, there's not a lot of scoring going on, and you know, she fouls. Like, you know, she's one of the girls that likes to be aggressive, and she always gets in foul trouble. So to me, she's sitting there listening to me coaching, and she gets in the game and understands that I'm not really just on her, I'm on everybody about reaching and fouling. And when she gets in the game, she seems to be more under control, and I think that's helped her a lot, instead of just getting the game. And you know, and I know you're supposed to get a feel for the game, but I think it helps her to understand it a little bit, in my opinion. Now, if I ask her, probably, I mean, she wants to start, you know. So we're looking at, you know, seeing how if I like our 3 guards, Jalen Gordon and Kia Wilridge and Kiki Veal in the same time, but at the same time it causes us problems if we do get in foul trouble. You know, we got to start to sub out and stuff. So we're trying to utilize that lineup to be able to, if we do get in foul trouble, because we're so aggressive. I mean, we foul, you know. I mean, especially the way they call it now.
Coach, before this trip, you said you felt like the team is more, you have players that are more mature now. And you had 17 turnovers in 2 games. Is that kind of a good sign of some basketball maturity? Well,
that's a great sign, I think. You know, I think you know, anytime you can limit your turnovers and get better at it. I know we started the season turning over the ball, and I think we've made some coaching adjustments too. You know, with putting the ball in Jay's hand now. Jalen Gordon has the ball in her hand. She's making really good decisions and all that. And she's feeling more comfortable, so that's helping us to grow. And I tell you what, Kia spends so much energy on the defensive side. I think with the ball not in her hands and she's a little bit fresher to be able to guard, I think it creates less turnovers, you know. And you know, I know Kiki likes the ball in her hands, and I think it's just getting used to playing with one another. And then you add in the fact of, you know, adding better players with the, you know, with some of the freshmen and all that. So, you know, it's just a better squad, a better fundamental team, I think, you know, and we're making better decisions, you know. I think that's one of the main things.
You're playing a conference game first week of December. I mean, are you ready for conference, or do you think anybody's ready for conference?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one, you know. It's like they're playing 20 games. I really didn't feel comfortable coming back from a trip like this and going into a conference game, but yeah, we just couldn't find another date, and you know, it is what it is. But you know, you get the win, you're going to really feel good about it, because you'll sit 3 weeks at the top of the conference. You get the loss, and you got to deal with 3 weeks of being at the bottom of the conference and starting the conference really when you come back in January. You know, 0-1. You know, so it's tough, and then to have to go on the road. You know, I think it makes it tough. But you know, we only had 1 home game, and it hadn't been in the Cajun Dome, so. You know, we've been tested on the road. We've lost 1 at Houston, and so you know, we're ready. I mean, it's just part of being in college basketball, Division I. You know, you got to deal with what the circumstances are, and you know, I think our kids are ready. I don't know if it makes a big difference to them. They want to play, and you know, I think it's a big game though. You know, we haven't started 1-0 in conference since I've been here, so this would be a great start for us to go 1-0 and then, you know, kind of build on it, because I mean, that's what we're playing for. We're playing for a conference championship, and you know, I said at the beginning of the season, you know, every game's winnable for us, you know, and you know, we got to continue to build on it. But I don't know. I think it'll be a tough one. You know, we got to show up, and everybody's got to show up in this game against Monroe.
You won in Oxford, Mississippi. You won a couple of games in Puerto Rico. Does that give the coaches kind of some good ammunition to tell the players, hey, don't be scared about going to Monroe or Boone, North Carolina, or something, or
Well, and I think that's when you schedule. You schedule is I always said that. Recruiting is the most important thing. The second in line would be scheduling, and I think we've done a good job of scheduling some away games, and we were able to get some wins on the road and get some confidence in what we're doing. So, you look at the Lady Cajuns, the future. The past. They never really had a home. It's just, to me, it's like. We're fighting right now where we at, where we practice, where we play, and it's just kind of part of it. And we might be better off on the road, which is great, because you win those road games, it makes it a lot easier wherever you play, So, and I think we have a veteran team that's played a lot of AAU. I think that's big, I think when you get kids that have played a lot of AAU and they playing all over the country and stuff like that, they kind of get used to it, And on the women's side, most places you go, the crowds aren't that big, and on the road it's usually pretty tough. But I think I think this will be the best road team I have since we've been here.
Is the matchup the same with them as last year?
A little different. The big kid's not there anymore. They had a big kid last year that we just could not stop. We'd front her and they throw over, and they still got a little bit of size, but just not as effective. And they bring in a couple of junior college point guards that are guards that can kind of play. So it's going to be a little different, and I think we're just a better team too, that where we can show some different things. But Coach Dial's done a good job of developing his defense, and they really scored. I saw last night they scored 84, 88 against Southeastern, so they scoring, and they brought LSU to overtime, so they've been tested a little bit, and at Monroe it's always a tough game, but we'll show up, and I like our maturity and the things that we bring for this year.
In Sunbelt play last year, that's kind of when teams predominantly just went to zone. They just, non-conference, it was man, and then they just zoned you throughout the rest of the season. How ready is the team to kind of transition to playing against a zone defense and learning to attack it again?
Well, and I think we have so much more. We got some hybrids that can penetrate. We can get some scoring from the high post play with Bree Cooper and Jordan Alexander. In Brooklyn, we didn't have Brooklyn last year. Brooklyn's really good at the high post. So, you're going to look at opening up that zone a little bit, with Silk coming back. Silk's shooting lights out right now. Just her and her presence in the game. Hopefully we can get her in and we'll start working her in the next couple of weeks. So, we'll see what we can do against the zone. But I feel a lot more confident that we can handle that zone this year compared to what we fought last year.
From the Sacred Heart game and the Houston game, is slowing the pace down the equivalent this year of the zone?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, it slowed it down a little bit. Against Arkansas, I think we shot 90-something times or 89 times. That's kind of a lot for us, And then, you get into the other games and you shoot about 50 or 60 times, and, the less possessions and all that. But and I think that's what they're trying to do to us. But I think we're a lot better team. Last year it was not many times we shot over 40%. And I think this year is only one time that we didn't shoot over 40%. So we're shooting the ball a lot better, and we focused on it, and our kids are a lot more confident. So I think it's just a little different team. I think we'll be harder to guard, whether they play man or zone.
You talked about the Puerto Rico trip being a reward for the players. What did you think about it? Just the experience. What was the experience like for you?
Yeah, for me, I just like playing games, man. I like the basketball stuff, I'm not a vacation kind of guy, and all that stuff. I got a timeshare in Cabo, but I love basketball, man. I'm here to coach basketball, and it was fun. But again, I got to take a deep breath and realize they're kids, and they want to experience some things. So coming and looking at it, I'd do it again. I would do it again for our kids. At first I thought we were going to Pecan Island, but they'll be able to go to Puerto Rico and do this for these kids. Because I think there's probably only one kid on that team that's been on an island before, and long flight, and they experienced the airport and just every aspect of what they did. I think it was good for them, and they were in great mood, man. I tell you what, our support staff noticed that from just like, man, wow, they really, really came together, and so from that standpoint, I think it's huge. You know, the experience, they'll never forget. I mean, I played college sports, and I still got my best friends that we did some things like that, and you never forget those things. You know, you forget about the jump shots and the wins, but trips like that you don't forget. And I think that's important for our university to provide that to our student athletes.
You might be onto something there. You're going to host the Pecan Island.
I'm thinking about it. You know, I just don't know if they have a big enough arena there that can handle it, but
The old gym there, right?
yeah, there's no doubt. No doubt.
Court on Cow Island.
I was going to ask for like an injury update. Was anybody that was not available in Puerto Rico going to be available for?
Yeah, Taylor Washington had a hamstring, and she's available. She's been released on Monday and practiced and looked all right, you know. And like Silk's still in the process, but man, Silk really looked good today, you know. And my thing is I need to see her being productive in practice before I'm going to throw her in a game. You know, I want to make sure that she's prepared to kind of handle some of the full court stuff and all that. So, you know, those two are going to be available for the Thursday game, and we'll just kind of use them as we feel comfortable using them. And, you know, we got another practice tomorrow that we can kind of get a read of how they feel from today till yesterday. So, you know, and everybody seems to be pretty healthy. Bree Cooper came in today with a little knee problem, but I think she'll be all right. And, you know, we dinged up a little bit, but not bad. This is the healthiest we've ever been in 4 years.
Coach, you guys are possibly one late foul call away from being undefeated to start the season. I know it's easy to look at the positives, but how have you tried to focus on things you guys can still improve on, and what can you possibly still do?
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, it's like I think we're a pressing team, and you know, we need to get better at it. You know, I think we did a great job against Sacred Heart, but against Arkansas, for some reason, you know, we come out of a timeout and we want to press, and after 2 possessions, I'm looking and we're getting back. And I usually don't fight our kids. You know, it's like if they don't want to press, I can't make them. You know, they have to really want to do it. And so it was kind of discouraging in a way that we didn't do it, and I just kind of got through it, and I thought we could have really took care of Arkansas a lot earlier if we would have pressed a little bit earlier. And it's just like I guess from their standpoint, they didn't feel like it was the best idea, but we came back. So it's what we did this morning. We worked a lot on our full court press and denying the ball, especially for our freshmen, for them to get kind of used to it, and they're really good at it, you know. So, you know, we're going to continue to work on our defense and get better at it, and you know, it's just. It's at a point right now that we have to believe in what we're doing, and I think that's where we're at. I think you're going to see a different team, I think, this year as we continue to go, especially on the offensive side. They're starting to feel more comfortable with some of the things we're running and some of the things we don't need to run. You know, it's amazing how athletic we are and how quick we are, and you know, everybody says that. You know, I mean, I know. Coach from Arkansas was saying quickest guards he's seen in a while, you know, and so we just got to kind of keep them healthy and keep them going.
Okay, everybody good?
Thank y'all.